Yo, what's up guys? It's Trey360 coming back at you for another video, and today we have a singles team. Now, the double team, the Trick Room's double team that I've been working on, it's actually done, like completely. Items, movesets, EVs, IVs, and everything. However, I am still getting used to Trick Room doubles and doubles in general, but that video will be made extremely soon after this one, let's just say. But yeah, speaking of which, we've got this team. Now, the purpose of this singles team was to, one, give me a break from grinding up money and breeding competitive Pokemon, and also homework and all that stuff. But also because I wanted to use Spiritomb and Altaria for some reason, and I'm going to do that. Now, to do that, I have a Fighting, Dark, and Psychic core, and if you don't know about cores in Pokemon, basically they are sets of Pokemon, usually monotype, that cover each other's weaknesses extremely well. So the core that most people are familiar with are Fire, Water, Grass cores, which obviously if you've got a grass type, it's weak to fire, so you've got water to cover it. If you've got a water type, weak to grass, fire covers it, and so on and so forth. But Fighting, Dark, and Psychic is another core that is extremely popular, and the three Pokemon that I have here not only work well as a core, but also for the Trick Room that Reuniclus is going to be setting up. And actually all my Pokemon work well with Trick Room, and this is a Trick Room team to get me used to using Trick Room before I go into doubles. And the last core that I'm not really mentioning right now is Dragon, Fairy, and Steel types, but Fairy types don't exist in PokeMMO because it only goes up to Gen 5. But with that said, that's a quick overview of the team. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what each Pokemon does and kind of what their role is on the team. So obviously we're going to start off with Reuniclus usually to try and set up Trick Room as soon as possible, unless they have a Dark type or Bug type for some god forbidden reason that is going to be kind of a counter pick to the obvious, oh, I'm going to throw out Reuniclus first and use Trick Room strat because everyone does it, right? So once Reuniclus gets up Trick Room, I can really set up screens from here to make sure that I'm taking like half special damage, and then I can switch really to any Pokemon. But what I really want to do is get Altaria up there. The reason I want Altaria out on the battlefield is because with Leftovers, Roost, and an extremely high special defense stat that's been invested into with a sassy nature lowering speed, Altaria can take quite a few hits. And while it's taking those hits, it can set up Hone Claws, which will raise its attack and accuracy by 1. Now the reason we're going with Hone Claws rather than Dragon Dance is because Dragon Dance raises your speed, which is extremely counterintuitive if you're running a Trick Room set, which is what I'm running. So Hone Claws it is. Now, once we get up to like +3, +4, that's when we start hitting people with Stab, Dragon Claws, and Earthquake for coverage. And that's just going to hit a lot because I've fully invested into attack here. Magnezone is meant to keep, honestly, Magnezone is literally just meant to keep Ferrothorn and Scizor at bay. Scizor and Ferrothorn are two Pokemon that get on my nerves because they cannot be poisoned. They're only really weak to fire, although Ferrothorn also has a weakness to fighting, but with Iron Barbs and possibly Rocky Helmet, you really don't want to deal with that. But with Magnezone, I've got Magnet Pull, so if they throw in a Steel type, like Scizor or Ferrothorn, I can just throw in Magnezone and say, hey, you're stuck here, and now you have to take a Life Orb, Modest, fully special attack invested HP Fire, which is doing ×4 damage. And I don't think they want to do that. So that's why Scizor is, or not Scizor, that's why Magnezone is here, rather, to handle the likes of Scizor. Conkeldurr, Umbreon, and Reuniclus are meant to work as a unit, again with the Fighting, Psychic, Dark core. Conkeldurr is meant to hit extremely hard because out of all the fighting types in the entirety of Pokemon up to Gen 5, Conkeldurr has the highest base attack stat. It also has an ability, which is Guts, which means that if it's status, it gets 50% extra attack power. And Flame Orb can be put on it to make sure that at the end of every turn, he, gets burned, which Guts ignores the halving of the physical damage from burn. Therefore, even though this goes up to like 416 and I have a base power 100 fighting type move. I said that weird, but you know what I'm saying. Yo, Conkeldur's just gonna be hitting like a truck. And in Trick Room, I can use Hammer Arm, lower my speed, so that if Ferrothorn is outspeeding me, quote unquote outspeeding me, in Trick Room, Hammer Arm is going to lower my speed even further, making sure that I move before Ferrothorn, so that it can't set up things like Curse and, you know, hurt me. Now, the reason why I have Drain Punch and Hammer Arm both on my Conkeldurr is because Drain Punch is meant to give me longevity, whereas Hammer Arm is meant to finish off whatever I want to hit. Rock Slide is meant to cover flying types, specifically Dragonite, because while I could run Ice Punch for that, I would rather have Thunder Punch so that I can hit water types, because if Magnezone goes down, the only thing that I can really do to hurt bulky water types, like let's say Vaporeon or Blastoise, is to poison them with Umbreon, and Vaporeon gets Heal Bell rather, just like Umbreon does, so it can be kind of a stalwart, and I don't want that, so I'm packing Thunder Punch just in case. Rock Slide is also for the flinch chances. If I get a flinch on a Pokemon, I can basically guarantee that they die with Conkeldurr as long as they don't take me out. Because with Rock Slide, Hammer Arm, Flame Orb, Guts, all this attack stat, it's really not in your favor to take a Hammer Arm and a Rock Slide from Conkeldurr for free. It just puts me in a really good position. This Umbreon set is the same one that I always use. Everyone tends to underestimate Umbreon, thinking, oh, I can just poison it. But if you're not a Steel type, you're getting poisoned back. And I have Heal Bell, and I have Wish, and I have Toxic to poison you if you have Aromatherapy, Heal Bell, or Natural Cure switching out. I could just keep poisoning you and be annoying. And a thing that I've noticed that a lot of people fall for is I'll throw out Umbreon against their Salamence, right? They have no chance of one-hit KOing me with Salamence, first off. So they'll hit me, right? And I'll hit them with Foul Play, doing a lot of chip damage, and they're like, oh, okay, so what I'll do now is Dragon Dance up, because he's probably going to poison me, and that puts me in a good position, or he's going to switch, and that puts me in a good position. No, I want you to Dragon Dance. I want you to Swords Dance with Haxorus. I want you to do that stuff, because Foul Play uses your attack stat, not mine. So I don't know what it is that makes people fall for that, but it works way more often than it should. We've already been over Reuniclus. It's got Magikarp, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon that can switch into Toxic and not actually care about it, so that helps. But mainly it's just meant to set up Trick Room, have a lot of special attack damage, even though there's no investment in it, and survive attacks and just be annoying. Spiritomb is the one that I'm most proud of, right? So I've got a bulky, banded, adamant Spiritomb, and it's just as scary as it sounds. So with Sucker Punch doing base 80 power, Shadow Sneak doing base, 40, but has priority in Pursuit going up to 80 if they want to switch out, this Spiritomb can do a lot more damage than I think people are expecting from it, because usually you see like a Pain Split set on Spiritomb, Will-O-Wisp and all that, maybe Hex. But no, this Spiritomb is going to hit you extremely hard, and if you throw out a special attacker that, you know, doesn't care about Sucker Punch or Pursuit or Shadow Sneak, or is going to like try and set up with Calm Mind, what I can do is use Trick, and now you have a Choice Band, and you can't use Calm Mind again, because if you do, you'll be locked into Calm Mind. And worse even still, your special attacker is now stuck with a Choice Band, and nobody wants that. Meanwhile, I'm free to click whatever moves I want, so yeah, that works. But with all that said, we're going to go into the type breakdown, and for this one, right, honestly, the only weaknesses you have that can't be covered are Fairy types, and they don't exist in PokeMMO, so really, it says the rating is decent, but for PokeMMO rather, I almost said Pokemon Showdown, ooh, it's outstanding. It's outstanding in terms of type coverage. Now, if you want this team to get about 10 times better, I would recommend switching out Altaria for Dragonite, and just like that, this team is stupid good. You can run slow Dragonite sets. You can do quite a bit with Dragonite, actually, that Altaria just can't do, because its attack stat and its HP stat just aren't there. But for Spiritomb, I would recommend switching him out maybe for Dusclops and then switching out Umbreon for Blissey. So basically, what that would look like is instead of having a Ghost Dark type, you would just have Ghost here for Dusclops, and switching out Umbreon for Blissey would give you just a normal type. And so you have Ghost, Dark, and Fairy as a weakness. Fairy doesn't count. And while you have Ghost and Dark as a weakness, you can always switch into Conkeldurr or Magnezone because Steel types resist Dark types in Gen 5. That's not being showed because this is Gen 8. And for Ghost types, you can just switch into Blissey. So it still works out if you want this team to be more competitively viable, but yeah, I just thought I'd cover that. Not sure if you guys are interested. But without any further ado, let's just jump right into the battle. Ooh, we got one. Okay. So, for this battle, they are using a mono grass team. Interesting. I don't really have anything to counter them, though. This could actually get pretty hairy. I'd imagine they're going to start off with Cradily. And if they're going to start off with Cradily, then I'll probably want to poison it, like, first chance that I get. So I'm actually going to start with Umbreon here. So we start with Jump Bluff. Is this going to be like a taunt Jump Bluff set? Because if it is, I hope they know that taunt doesn't work on dark types. Because that could be bad if they don't know that. But either way, I'm going for the Toxic here. Sunny day. Okay, so you're setting up Chlorophyll and all that. That's cool. So, the Pokemon that have Chlorophyll are Leafeon, Meganium, and Venusaur don't get it because hidden abilities are gone, and Tangela. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Foul Play here. So go for a U-turn. That's going to be some decent damage, actually. I lied. I lied to your face, dude. For some reason, I thought that I had no defense at all into my Umbreon, but here we are. So we're going to go for the Foul Play here on this Tangela. And that tells me that he's not a physical set. So he's going to be hitting for special damage. And Umbreon kind of tanks special damage. Ooh, Leaf Guard. Interesting. Leaf Guard, Ingrain. Okay. I know what I want to do here. What I want to do here is switch into Andronicus here. Shakespearean hero, kind of. And we're going to use HP Fire in the sun and cause you so much pain. So much pain. So much pain. So Giga Drain's gonna hit. I don't expect it to do a lot of damage, honestly. Yeah, more than Umbreon, but still not a lot. Now, here's the thing. Do you expect me to have HP Fire? You should expect me to have HP Fire. And 2, is this going to hurt a lot? Yes. Nice. That's what I wanted. That's everything that I wanted, actually. I could not have asked for a better turn that round. So, I'd imagine Cradily? I don't know. Meganium is your play here. I wonder what you're going to do with Meganium as I go for another HP Fire. Or do I want to go for an HP Fire on Meganium? I think what I want to do is I want to switch over to Umbreon and save that HP Fire for the Leafeon, if for nothing else than for chip damage. Aromatherapy, there it is. However, I could just set up another Toxic here. I really could just set up another Toxic here, which will lock you into Aromatherapy. And I'm doing this kind of to build conditioning, because if they Aromatherapy this turn, then they'll probably Aromatherapy next turn. If they Aromatherapy next turn, then I get a free switch in. But no, they're going to go for a Giga Drain, which is actually pretty smart. Trying to get damage off, but yo, could you hit that Toxic? That'd be very nice if you could hit that Toxic. I would actually appreciate that quite a bit. Going for a Reflect, that's fine. By the time I start killing Pokemon, the Reflect is probably going to be down anyway. So now I would expect you to go for another Aromatherapy. I'm going to go ahead and use Wish. Jump Bluff comes in. I really want to know what this Jump Bluff can actually do to me, because I think Umbreon just kind of sits and walls out everything they have. If you poison me, you get poisoned back, and I have Heal Bell. But they don't know I have Heal Bell yet. So, Sleep Powder, that's good. Now, I want River to wake up. At the same time, I would rather not let them set up on me. But I don't think Jumpluff is the Pokemon that's going to be setting up. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Magnezone here. And if they switch out with U-turn, as they do, something's going to have to take an HP fire. Because I don't think anything on their team can one-shot Andronicus. Well, Venusaur can if it has Earthquake. And it would be very smart for them to put Earthquake on Venusaur. Venusaur has Earthquake. That's what's happening here. I see what's happening here. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Altaria. Because I don't see why I would let Andronicus take damage like that. Solar Beam, interesting. Well, it's a good thing I still switched, because that's not going to do much at all. But I was expecting an Earthquake. So it's a special Venusaur rather than support coverage. I have Earthquake myself. And actually, since Umbreon's already asleep, you can't put anything else to sleep. So I'm going to Home Claws up real quick. That's going to do some real good damage, actually. Comparatively, you know. Like that, they keep going for that, it's going to be a problem. However, I also have Roost. So as long as they don't get a boost from Ancient Power, I'm cool. I'm going to get that one Home Claws up, and I'm going to go for Earthquake. Switch into Cradily. Cradilly's... it's going to be okay with an Earthquake. Yeah, it's going to be totally okay with an Earthquake. Now, Cradily could go for Ingrain here, or it could go for Toxic. And while none of my Pokemon really care about Toxic, I'm going to go ahead and switch in Umbreon here. One, to kind of spite them for going for Toxic if they do go for it. There it is. And two, because I get to burn sleep turns now. And Umbreon getting poisoned isn't a big deal. Cradily getting poisoned is a monumental deal for them, because they can't really deal with it, especially after Meganium dies. Woke up, I go for Toxic. You're going for Aromatherapy. I don't want to waste my Toxics, and since I know you're going for Aromatherapy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into the real Slim Shady. Even if I lose him, it doesn't really matter. However, this Choice Band is going to be hitting a little differently, especially if they go for Giga Drain. Now, I've got to think on if I want to go for Sucker Punch or if I want to go for Pursuit. I'm going for the Sucker Punch here. Yeah, they went for Giga Drain. There it is. Let's see how much damage this is going to do. Ooh, a crit. Boo. Actually didn't do that much, so I imagine they're going to switch here. And I kind of want to throw in Altaria. Yeah. So they're going to throw in Jumpluff. I throw in Altaria. And I could go for a Dragon Dance here. But it's just Jumpluff done. I don't remember. I'm just going to go for Dragon Claw to get some damage off on it. This is going to be kind of a slow match, actually. I'm trying to make it fast, by like clicking fast and all that, but man, it's going to be a slow match. You're going to go for Sleep Powder. I'm pretty sure Natural Cure gets Sleep Powder too, because it is a status condition after all. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in the real Slim Shady. Woke up with Natural Cure. And I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you with Shadow Sneak. Sunny Day. Probably going to U-turn. Oh, if you U-turn, I can Sucker Punch. Let's see. I have no reason to do this. I could just go for Shadow Sneak and guarantee damage, because he could just go for Sleep Powder, since he knows that one of my Pokemon's awake. But no, he went for the U-turn. He actually went for the U-turn. That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. I'm a Ghost type, so that doesn't hit me for super effective damage. Here comes Venusaur here. I kind of want to get damage off on Venusaur too. So I might just Sucker Punch again. But on the other hand, I could just switch to Altaria, because it's going for Solar Beam. Yeah. Okay, I see what's happening here. I think I've got it. I think I've got the download. And so now I get damage off on you, and if you choose to put me to sleep, I'm going to wake up anyway as you go for an ancient power, which is smart. It is in fact super effective, and it does have a chance to raise your stats. However, I've got leftovers, I have Roost, and I have Earthquake, so I'm just going to be doing like a 4 or 5 hit KO here. And if you don't get a stat boost, we're good. If you do get a stat boost, I just switch to Umbreon. There we go. Now I think what I'll do is I'm gonna roost here, because if I roost here, it's kind of optimal. And you chose to go for a synthesis here. That's smart. I think you recover more HP in the sun anyway, but this is fine. This roost was a two-pronged approach. One, to heal myself up, and two, to make him feel like it's pointless to fight me on this. As a matter of fact, you're probably gonna switch, so I'm going for the Home Claws. Does Cradily have Sleep Powder? Even if it does, Earthquake is still a thing that they have to worry about. I might go for another one here actually. See what they do. Because even if they put me to sleep or poison me, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of, my team doesn't care about status, and his team is all about status. So this is kind of unfortunate for him. Goes for the Toxic, that's fine. It's going to be gone soon. Now, I want to go for the Earthquake, but he's shown me that every time Sun runs out, he wants to switch in Jump Pluff and put it back up. I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw here. That's fine. Stockpile. Stockpiled 1. Defense rose. Special defense raises. That's fine. Build that toxic damage up. And now we're going to go for an Earthquake here, because I don't imagine they're going to use Stockpile then abandon it. An Earthquake is going to do more damage to the Cradily, because even with Dragon Claw having stab, that's only 20% stronger, and that doesn't bring the 80 base power up to 100, which is what Earthquake has. So there we go. Now question for the audience, right? And I don't mean to be a douchebag, but question for the audience, right? What type move is Spit Up, right? What type of a move is Spit Up? It's a normal type move, correct? It's a normal type move. So I really could just switch into Slim Shady here, cure myself of poisoning, and if they go for Spit Up, it doesn't matter. If they go for Swallow, I couldn't stop it anyway. Synthesis, which means they probably do have Spit Up, because they wouldn't have Swallow in Synthesis. Now, here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. I get to go for Trick. As you go for Toxic, that's cool. I go for Trick. Here we go. And the next move you use, you're locked into. And I don't think this Cradily can hurt me, because I think Spit Up's its only attacking move. I'm gonna go for Pursuit here. See if he switches. Stockpile, that's what you want to lock into? Are you sure? That's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. That's 1000% fine. Because now I get to poison you. And all I've ever wanted is to poison you. Like, poisoning this Cradily is my win condition. And then also not dealing with Leafeon, because Leafeon's attack stat is actually stupid good. I think it has the second highest attack stat of all the evolutions. Don't quote me on that, but I think it only loses to Flareon. Because Flareon's attack stat is also stupid. There goes the Stockpile. I'm gonna go for Toxic. Now would be the part where you switch, right? Correct? Am I correct? And if you switch, Meganium gets poisoned, and I get to hit it with a Foul Play. And then once Meganium dies, nothing is going to save your Cradily from being poisoned. And then once that happens, I win the game, right? Yep, Meganium, poison. Aw, boo. That's unfortunate. Well, I do get to go for the Foul Play still. let's go for Giga Drain. I don't know. I don't think that Giga Drain was the play there. I highly doubt that Giga Drain was the play there. I'm just going to keep spamming foul play because nothing really wants to take a foul play, and he's not going to throw in freaking Credilli here. Now, the only problem with this is that him constantly being able to heal is just going to make this a giant stall war. So I'm going to go for Toxic here. So he goes for Reflect. That's fine. And I'm going to get my team back in fighting condition. Since he wants to waste time, that's totally fine with me. That's actually 1000% fine with me because you can't hurt me. And all I need is one Toxic on that Credilli when you're dead. So we're going to go for a Heal Bell here. Now, Leafeon. The only thing that I'm wary of with Leafeon is if it gets any type of fighting type move, which may sound crazy, but I've had to deal with that type of stuff before. Now, I don't think it gets any fighting type moves, actually, as of Gen 5. But I know it gets X-Scissor. X-Scissor. X-Scissor, that's the one that I need to look out for. So we're going to throw an Altaria here. Swords Dance, that's bold. That's brash. That's bold and brash. But he still has X-Scissor, so if I switch an Umbreon, I'm screwed. Okay. Leaf Blade, it's not going to do that much at all. Oh, you've got Life Orb. I was like, dude, that actually did quite a bit. That's crazy. So I'm going to survive this next one and go for Roost. Goes for another Leaf Blade. It's not going to kill me unless he gets a crit. We're good. And with that Life Orb damage, you're actually kind of killing yourself. Now, imagine you have Synthesis, right? Because, like, why wouldn't you? So the optimal strat is to go for one more Roost here. The optimal strat for him is to go for Sword Stance, predicting I go for another Roost. Leaf Blade, that's fine. Kinda just one damage at this point. Now I die here. Right? But I got you to hurt yourself some more with Life Orb, which is good. Now, are you in Shadow Sneak range? I don't think so. But you are in Foul Play range. And your Leaf... Ooh, you've got X-Scissor, though. You don't have X-Scissor? Okay, cool. Or maybe you just wanted to heal. Either way, this is fine. This is fine. Even with Reflect Up, you used SD. Now comes the moment of truth. Do you have X-Scissor? Because if you don't, this is bad. This is really bad for you. Oh no. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have X-Scissor. Oh, this is bad. Reflects down. And I think that's what kept you alive. Yeah, that is what kept you alive. So now, Leafeon the threat is gone. So now I just need to get rid of Credilli. And to get rid of Credilli, Meganium has to go. Jump Pluff? I'm going for Foul Play. That's fine. I don't think any of his Pokemon can touch Umbreon at this juncture. I really don't think they can do anything. Now, I wanted 2 battles. But with the way this is going... Ooh, you're dead. With the way this is going, though, I might only get 1 battle, because this battle's taking a while. It's been 18 minutes, dude, since this battle started. Venusaur is going to come out. You're going to go for a Solar Beam, but I don't think it matters on Umbreon, who's specially defensive. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you've got Synthesis, though. Your attack stat might be pretty high for you to be taking all that damage. Now that I think about it, Venusaur is only... Yeah, okay. I was like, it's only gone for Solar Beam, so what if they're like some crazy like choice spec set? But nah, they use Sludge Bomb. was just a thought, just a theory. Gonna go for another or another foul play here. Oh, here's the thing. I kind of want to wish pass or wish and then switch. Ooh, excuse me. I kind of want to wish and then switch in the spirit tomb. That's kind of my plan. I've got 6 more foul plays. I've got 3 toxics. I have to be extremely stingy about my toxics. So I'd imagine you're only gonna go for a sludge bomb or a synthesis here. So I'm gonna switch into Andronicus here. Synthesis it is. Hopefully the sunlight stays out for this turn. I don't think he has Earthquake, because if he had Earthquake he would have used it. Sunlight stays out, so now HP Fire is gonna be doing mad damage. You forgot that I had Magnezone, didn't you? This is gonna do quite a bit of damage, but we're good. Power's gonna come out. Hopefully this takes out Venusaur. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. The sunlight's still beating down too. Meganium's gonna come out. That's cool. Go for your Giga Drain. Pop off. Synthesis. That was kind of a waste of a turn. Because now I get a heal bell for free. There's nothing you can do to me. Unfortunately, I don't get to benefit from the sun anymore. But I get a heal bell for free. And I don't know if you want that. That's cool. You hear your poisoning, I'll heal my poisoning. This is totally fine. Now I can go for a wish to heal Umbreon. Or I can go for a wish to heal Spiritomb. What does Spiritomb even have? You definitely don't have a choice maker that use Trick. I'm gonna go for Wish here. And depending on what you do, depends on what Pokemon I want to heal. You went for a Giga Drain? Interesting. I could just poison you and get all my health back. I kind of want this battle to be over, though. Like, I don't want it to take too long, and I don't want to waste any more Toxics. I'm gonna go for Foul Play here. Go for Giga Drain. Literally not going to do anything. But that's cool. And so now I'm gonna go for Wish again, and this time I'm going to pass it on to... Let's pass it on to Magnezone. Because I don't think Giga Drain is going to kill me. I have 32 HP. I don't think Giga Drain is going to kill my Magnezone. If it does, it's going to be a pain. But if it doesn't, then we're good. You switched. Unfort. Unfort. This is... I am so sorry you did that. Hi, friend. I'm a modest Life Orb Magnezone with a stab flash cannon that's super effective against Cradilly. Hi, friend. You don't have any defense boost right now. We've been 60... This is 62 turns. Hi, friend. Bye, friend. That was an unfortunate switch. That was a very unfortunate switch. Man. Yeah, and I'm not pulling back anymore. I am going for Hidden Power Fire. Cradilly's down. All the threats are down. Meganium's a support Pokemon. We know this. What was I at? What HP was I at? I do want to know if I would have survived that Giga Drain. Because I'm just that way. I was at like 118. And now I'm at 96. I did 22. Yeah, I was going to live that Giga Drain either way. That's fine. This is totally fine. Ow. I don't think Hidden Power is going to kill here. It might. I wasn't paying attention to the damage. I was doing calculations. Yeah, you lived. Okay. And so now is the part where you go for Synthesis and I Volt Switch out. Because you know what you forgot? I have other Pokemon, right? So I'm going to Volt Switch out for that chip damage. I'm going to throw in Conkeldurr. And if you go for Synthesis, you're in trouble. If you go for Giga Drain, you're still in trouble. And I got burned by the Flame Orb. Should that have happened? Is that a bug? Yeah, it should have happened, because with Volt Switch, the end of the turn is when Conkeldur's out, so we're good. We're good. You went for Giga Drain. I'm pretty sure you die here, depending on how well Conkelder. Yeah, I think you're dead. I think you're dead. GG. Yeah. So, unfortunately, my opponent's team was just hard countered by my team because my team didn't care about status. But yeah, that's the battle. That's the content. And coming in the next few days, probably tomorrow, but if not, definitely by Monday, because I gotta go home. By home, I mean another state. But the Trick Room Doubles team is coming along. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. If you like the video, then don't forget to leave a like. And if you want to see more of its kind, then don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I will see you guys later.